ask you to answer some questions. Some questions will seem very easy, while others will seem difficult. Please do your best. What is this? What country is this? What is this? What is this? What is this dog? Oh, tell me another word for this. What is this? What is this? Okay. What is this? What is this? You think another one? What is this? What is this? What is this part of the stairway called? What is this? What is a part of the joint? What is this part of the joint called? Okay. Finish what I started. A fish swim, a bird. Finish what I say. Father is to mother as brother is to sister. Listen and tell me your answer. Down is to up, as out is to airplane is to sky, as boat is to cold is to winter, as hot is to egg is to chicken, as milk is to sit is to chair, as sleep is to niece is to nephew, as aunt is to pen is to ink, as bicycle is to, pond is to lake, as stream is to, toe is to finger, as foot is to, hive is to bee, as city is to, wrench is to mechanic, as stethoscope is to, baker is to bread, as writer is to, tear is to eye, as rain is to, stove is to appliance, as chair is to, round is to sphere, as square is to, microphone is to sound, as telescope is to, bicycle is to motorcycle, as broom is to, student is to graduation, as employee is to, picture is to draw, as book is to, typewriter is to computer, as abacus is to, minute is to day, as week is to, ride is to walk, as equestrian is to, plan is to goal, as math is to, parallel is to segregation, as perpendicular is to, two is to between, as three is to, first read the word silently, and then say the word smoothly. What is this word? Go ahead with the others, don't go too fast. What is this word?
System,
Go ahead with the others, don't go too fast.
chronological, dactyl, trajectory, morale, equilibrium, coup.
What is the club? Go ahead with the others, so say. you put your answers to some questions on this sheet. Please print your answers. Begin with number 49. Number 49. Write the following city and state. Dallas, Texas. Number 42. Spell the word education. You go to school to get an education. Education. Number 43. This says, Mary yelled, "Watch out!" Place an exclamation point where it is needed. Number 44. Write the words that will finish what I say. Jose is helpful. Karen is more helpful. And Lee is the... Number 45. Spell 21. The young woman was 21 years old. 21. Number 46. This says 7:30 p.m. Place punctuation where it is needed. Number 47. Spell the word cougar. Our school mascot is the cougar. Cougar. Number 48. Write the word that means more than one calf. One calf, two. Number 49. Write a greeting that you would use to write a letter to your friend Jake. Number 50. Spell mother-in-law. His mother-in-law helped them move to their new house. Mother-in-law. Number 51. Spell the word beautify. The flowers beautify the old building. Beautify. Number 52. Write the word that means more than one hero. One hero, two. Number 53. Number 53, spell the word chaos. There was chaos when all the family members arrived at the same time. Chaos. Number 54. Number 54, spell the word courageous. That is a courageous thing to do. Courageous. Number 55, spell the word vacuum. Larry's responsibility is to vacuum the living room floor. Vacuum. Number 56, spell the word possession. Grant's most treasured possession was his antique automobile. Possession. Number 57, spell the word therapeutic. The hot springs are said to be therapeutic. Therapeutic. Number 58, spell the word luminescence. The luminescence of the firefly attracted our attention. Luminescence. Number 59, spell the word paradigm. The teacher chose a good paradigm to teach the concept. Paradigm. Number Number 63, this says 3rd and 4th grade. Both the 3rd and 4th grade classrooms had perfect attendance. Place hyphens where they are needed. Number 61, make an ellipsis. Number 62, spell the abbreviation for the words and others as used in source materials. Okay. You will be asked to point to several things in this picture. Listen carefully because you will hear the directions only once from this audio recording. Do not point until you hear the word go. Take a few seconds to look over this picture before you are asked to point.
Before pointing to the box on the chair, point to the lamp that the man... After you point to the tree that is between the houses, point to the plant on the porch. Go. Point to the 2 boxes marked with there, and then to 3 other boxes. Go. Before pointing to the box on the chair, point to the lamp that the man is carrying. Go. Either point to the boy leaning on the fence or the girl with the bicycle, but first point to the girl with the dog. Go. Point to the ball, then to the boxes near the house before you point to the bat. Go.
Point to the ball and then the boxes near the house before you point to the bat. Yeah.
First point to a dog, then the doll, then a tree, and then to the 2 houses. Go, 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 go. Point to the girl in the lower left corner, and then the girl in the lower right corner. Go. Don't point to the birdhouse and then the woman on the porch, unless there is a doll and a clock somewhere in the picture. Go. Before you point to the tree between the two houses, point to the dog closest to the house and the chair inside the truck. Go. If there are four men moving furniture, point to the girl with the bicycle or the tree in front of the house. Otherwise, point to the bat and ball. Go. Point to one lamp, then one chair if there are two dogs in the picture. Otherwise, point to the two women and the basket of toys. Go. If the door to the house on the left is open, point to the tree between the two houses. If not, point to the other tree. Go.
Take a few seconds to look over this picture before you are asked to point.
Point to the squirrel on the branch, and then either the butterfly on the rock or one of the squirrels on the ground before you point to the spider hanging from the tree, if there is a rabbit in the tree. If there is none, point to either two birds and two spiders, or all of the squirrels on the ground. Go. Point to the bird in the upper right corner, after you point to a bird in the upper left corner, but before you point to the bird on the ground. Go. While you point to the bird on the trunk of the tree, point to either the squirrel, or either the squirrel, or either the squirrel on the branch, or a squirrel on the ground. But first, point to all the spiders and then the skunk. Go.
While you point to the bird on the trunk of the tree, point to either the squirrel on the branch or a squirrel on the ground. But first point to all the spiders and then the skunk. Go.
Don't point to the butterfly on the left and then the largest rabbit, unless there is a turtle, a skunk, and a deer in the picture. Go. to the spider in front of the tree and the bird in the upper right corner if the big rabbit is in front of the small rabbit. Otherwise, point to a bird in the upper left corner and the spider beside the rock. Go. Point to the log or the rock. After you point to the squirrel in front of the rock, if there are two butterflies and a deer in the picture. Otherwise, point to the birds that are flying and then the sun. Go. After you point to the mouse in the left corner, and then the spider in front of the tree, point to a rabbit, but not the smallest rabbit. Go.
After you point to the mouse in the lower left corner and then the spider in front of the tree, point to a rabbit, but not the smallest rabbit. Go.
Before you point to the mouse behind the rabbit and then the rock, point to the butterfly on the right. Go.
I'm going to turn the page. You will see the same picture and be asked to point to more things.
Point to the log and then the two birds in the upper left corner before you point to the turtle and the squirrel climbing the tree. Go. Point to the turtle before you point to all the spiders and one butterfly, but after you point to the mouse between the rabbit and the squirrel. Go.
There's the mouse, the turtle, the spider, and then
If there is a spider hanging above the skunk, point to the spider closest to the rock after you point to the smallest rabbit. If it is not, point to the mouse in the lower left corner and then the deer. Go. First, point to the bird on a branch, then a bird on the ground, and then, if there are two squirrels in the tree, point to one of them. Go.
there's the burning hearts,
You are going to hear a story from this audio recording. First, you will hear a single beat, and then the story will begin. When the story is over, you will hear a double beat. Then you tell the story back to me.
Test 6. Story recall. The baby wanted his Emily went to the bee. Jill watched as the young woodcock. Jill watches from her apartment window. As the young businesswoman prepared to board the train, she tripped on the long strap of her satchel and knocked down the man in front of her. The man got up quickly and managed to board before the train door closed. The young woman, however, remained on the platform.
Tell me the story.
Trying to go on the train trip so long, strap on her satchel, and falls into the in front of her, and in front of the man, and then they got in front of her manages to get off the train, but the train was closed and the lady and man.
The energetic toddler was grandstanding for his parents and family. He had just learned how to jump and was demonstrating his newest accomplishment to anyone who would spare him a few moments. With much concentration, he would bend his knees slightly, make a fist with his hands, move his arms backwards, and with a great rush of air quickly raise his arms above his head. His small body would jerk up, and his heels would come up, but his feet would never fully leave the ground. Nevertheless, his attendants would applaud the child's obvious delight.
An energetic toddler who just learned how to jump and his father loved to watch him. So he would steal and put his hand in his face and move his arms slightly back and before his mouth to his arms outward and his heels come off the ground but his whole foot never came off the ground. But his family called it ground.
The Midwest was being pounded by torrential rains. The rivers had risen to 20 feet above flood stage. In some areas, the rain had come down at the rate of 3 inches per hour. The first floor of Ron and Gail's house already had 8 inches of water. The family frantically moved as much furniture as possible to the second floor, salvaging whatever they could. With heavy hearts, they remembered that in years past, it had taken as long as 10 days for the water to finally recede.
Years past, it took up to 10 days to solve and to get rid of it.
Tom sincerely wished he were on vacation. It was only Tuesday, and already the week was hectic. It seemed that everyone in the office needed something from him. One project director was adamant that his direct mail campaign must be completed and mailed to 300,000 people by the end of the business day on Thursday. It was Tom's responsibility to see that every picture on every advertisement was in place. Another department head was concerned that the magazine supplement was behind schedule. She wanted Tom to find the problem and correct it. Friday could not come soon enough.
Tom was already ready for vacation. It was on Tuesday, and then he dies. His word that he still wasn't here yet. So he made Tom reserve 30,000 pictures to make sure they were right. And it hadn't done by the end of the business on Thursday. Another person was worried that the magazine supplements weren't ready or right, so they made Tom go through and see what was wrong. And Tom came up with it.
Look at this picture. Listen, this says the house is bigger than the what word belongs in the blank space.
Person.
Read this to yourself and tell me one word that goes in the blank space.
Spot. Turtle.
Read this to yourself and tell me one word that goes in the blank space.
Red. Circle.
Read this to yourself and tell me one word that goes in the blank space. Thank you.
I'm sorry.